good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Lovely. Welcome you to the next class in Introduction to Modern Linguistics. We have been talking about the design features of language. Last time, in the last class, we looked at two features. Does anyone remember what they were? Yeah, please. Number one. Well, we said language has content, but how is language different from natural language, different from other media or other mediums of communication? Yes, number one, please write. Human languages, natural languages are different from other media of communication because, number one, they are species specific. Only human beings have this language. You can try teach some words to parrot or monkey or chimpanzee. That does not make them talking animals, just as a little bit of flying or a little bit of swimming does not make us a flying creature or a swimming creature. That is feature number one of language, that only human beings have it. The view current today is language is a biological gift, please write, biological gift to human beings. Only human beings have it, none else. It is species specific. It is a biological gift to mankind, just as flying is to bird, swimming is to fish, and other kinds of natural attributes are to other creatures. That is a unique feature of natural languages. You can try and teach some words to parrots, you can try and teach some words to chimpanzees, but that does not make them talking animal, just as a little bit of flying or a little bit of swimming does not make us human beings a bird or a fish. Do you agree? Everybody please, do you agree?
Yes, sir.
Right. The next feature we talked about in the last class was language is species uniform. All human beings, men and women, black and white, brown and yellow, people with JEE, without JEE, IIT students and VIT students, irrespective of class, caste, color, rich, poor, communist, socialist, no matter who they are, everyone has language. Just as every human being has two hands, two eyes, every human being walks on 2 feet, bipedal as the word is, so every human being is a talking creature. The Greeks called us, does anyone remember? Homo loquens, speaking animals. Greeks called us Homo loquens, speaking bipedal people. Okay? We are all the time talking, chattering constantly, sometimes about ourselves, mostly about others. Okay? They are unique features of, it is not there, in every other kind of thing. There are mediums of communication, painting, but can every human being paint? Yes or no, please? No. Some people can sing, but can everyone sing?
No.
No. Some people can do computer language, Can everyone do that? Oh, I wish they could, okay? But that does not happen. Okay? These are specific skills, but language is a common skill. All human beings have natural languages, at least one language. All of us are born talking. Some people may know more words, some people may know fewer words, some people may write poetry, some people may write stories, but basic ability, just as some people are able to lift 80 kilograms, some people are able to go without food for 3 days, 4 days. I know one IIT alumnus on this camp, a student of this campus, topper of his batch, see, unfortunately, and he, after graduating, did not pick up a job, does consultancy, works only 1 week a year, makes enough money and eats only twice a week. Okay? So, some people may be different in ability, but basic ability is the same. Even that IIT graduate eats only through his mouth, needs some nutrition, needs water, knows all the basic skills required. So, some human beings may have more words, some human beings may have fewer words, but all human beings have all the basic kinds of words, so that we can talk to each other. This is a common feature of natural language. Any doubt? Any questions so far? Please, I gave you a test. Do you remember the test? What was the test? Yes, ma?
You asked us to write a sentence in our sentence, a brown fox jumped over a lazy dog, and asked us to write it in our mother tongue.
Yeah, okay. And in any other medium. Writing in mother tongue is easy, but can you easily do a painting to say this sentence? Can you say that sentence in music, through guitar? You strum the guitar and you say, a quick brown fox jumped over a lazy dog. Can you do that? You will still need words. Do you see my point? Yes or no, please? Yes. That is music, swimming, painting, sculpture, computer language. They are not common to all mankind, but language is common to all of us. Any problem so far? Any problem so far?
No, sir.
Lovely. God bless you. Come to today. We will be talking about third feature. Third feature of human language is, can you speak it aloud? Culturally transmitted. What is it? Culturally transmitted. Okay? Let's write. Culturally transmitted. What does that mean? It means the following, that we have the ability to speak language, to learn language, to acquire language. Nature or God has given us that ability, but that ability will not be realized, will not be actuated, will not come into use and fulfillment until we hear others speak. That is why the children who are deaf also become dumb. Deafness and dumbness go together. Nature has designed us such that we can learn language, but if by some accident of birth, if some mischance, we are deprived of the ability to hear, then we cannot speak. Yet we acquire language in a different manner. The point here is that children learn language. They are born, they hear language in the family, from friends, relatives, families, all the time talking. From the moment the child is born, or even before the child is born, even when the child is in the mother's womb, there is evidence that suggests that child listens to a spoken language all around him or her. The language may not be elaborate. We never speak to a child the mantras of Vedas, etc., etc. After the child is born, we may try to teach the child some prayers, some shlokas, or some tables, or start preparing him for JEE. By and large, children learn language on their own, but they listen to people. It is essential condition, like a film. The film can take picture, but it must be exposed to the object. Similarly, the human being is biologically designed to learn a language and more languages, but the human being requires exposure to the language, and this exposure starts even before the child is born. All the family, all the friends, all the relatives, all the visitors, sometimes they talk specifically to the child. What's your name? What would you like? Where the father has gone? Mostly dumb questions. Nobody asks the child, how was the taste of chocolate like? I gave you yesterday. Can I tell you a story? Can I tell you a story?
Yes, sir.
Once I was going with a very young child in Chennai in an auto rickshaw from Adyar to Puruswakkam, north to south, south to north. So, long distance, the child was getting bored. So, when we were crossing T Nagar, I told the child, dear child, we are now crossing T Nagar, just to keep him amused. He would not know what T Nagar is, etc., etc. And then I asked him, do you understand? We are crossing T Nagar. He said, yes, I understand, you are crossing T Nagar. And then after some time he asked me, don't you have a chocolate Nagar here? You have T Nagar, but don't you have a chocolate Nagar? Here is human being. Who told that boy that tea, coffee, chocolate come in one class? So, child assumed that if there is a T Nagar, there may be a coffee Nagar, there may be a Coke Nagar, there may be a Pepsi Nagar, but there may also be a chocolate Nagar. So, this ability in human beings to deduce, to logic, what we call infer, please write, infer. If you hear a word which has past tense in ed, wanted, mended, rented, then the third word immediately you think move. What is the past tense? Moved, ed, you add to it. Mended, rented, wanted, chant. What will the past tense? Chanted. This ability is God given. This ability, but this ability will flower, this ability will come into being only when the child is exposed to the language. So, that is why this exposure is required. And a third feature of the language is it is culturally transmitted, not mechanically. Maybe machine is part of culture, but mechanically transmitted, no, culturally transmitted. Lot of people use it with one another. The child observes his or her relatives, his or her friends, his or her caregivers, nurse, teacher, maid servant, ayah, master, the boss of the mother, the boss of the father, how they talk to each other. It is then that we learn social manner. No mother or father sits with you today and tells you, come sit down. Today I am going to tell you how you can talk to your mother-in-law. Be respectful, but don't respect. Okay? Does anyone, has your mother told you? Has your father told you? Even my mother and my father did not tell me. I wish they had. Okay? All of us learned these things from the ambience, from the way we watch people. No human being, the greatest gift of mankind in language is the ability to tell lies. Please write. The ability to tell lies. Human beings are the only creatures in the world who can tell lies. Where were you yesterday? I was in the library, sir. I know you were at the beach. You went to Besant beach, but you can say, I was in the library, I was in the laboratory. No dog can do that. One dog asks another dog, dog, where were you? The dog would say, well, I was chasing a bone, I was waiting at the meat shop. It cannot say, I was in a library. Okay? Dog does not have the ability. Monkey, lion, that is why many of us say, many people in modern linguistics, languages, neurosciences say that Darwin's theory that man is a descendant of monkey is a science fiction, is not reality. There are many gaps between monkey and man which Darwin's theory does not explain. The ability for mathematics. A monkey can assess the distance between two branches accurately, so that its jump is always accurate, its leap is always accurate. Human beings can also assess the distance between two branches. They are also very accurate. That is why somebody hits the ball with a cricket bat and the other person runs and catches it. That catcher uses 9 different kinds of knowledge: the speed of the ball, the angle at which the ball is coming, the momentum, the velocity, the weight, the color, the angle, a whole lot of things. You make a mistake in one and you drop a catch and you are tried for match fixing, right? It happens, okay? But there is a difference. One monkey cannot tell another monkey the distance between this branch and that branch is 2 meters 35 millimeters. Can they? But human beings can. One can always tell the distance between Alaknanda Hostel and Taramani Gate is nothing, right? Human beings have this ability, but this ability will come to fruition, this ability will prosper, will appear only if you listen to language, only when exposed. There are stories that some children were born normally, but carried away by wolf to a forest. Until about the age of 8 or 9, they heard no human language, no natural language, and therefore they had no language. Normal child born in a family takes time. It's graded. Okay? First, you begin with individual sounds. All children all over the world, be they in Africa, Swahili, or what is your favorite city? Florida or Massachusetts, New York. No matter where, all children begin with individual sounds. One of the three, either you say ba, or you say pa, or you say a. No fourth, because of the simple biological reason. The tongue is larger than the mouth, so the child has difficulty saying. The child cannot suddenly say the first law of thermodynamics is, the child cannot. There may be exceptions. Nature of course has exceptions, but 99.9% children begin with peripheral sounds. From sounds they go to syllables. Pa becomes pa, pa. A becomes ai, the Marathi word for mother, or ta, ta, or na, na. Okay? Nobody says, no child has been heard the first day itself saying, give me lux, okay? Cluster of consonant, or I will like pizza for breakfast. Okay. They reach this ability, but they take 3 years, 4 years. By the time the child is 9 months, the child starts putting sounds together in a word. Papa, mama, I. The first day the child said I, there was celebration, cakes were cut. In modern families, in old families where each family had 2 dozen children, okay, if the child made a lot of noise, they were given 2 or 3 slaps, very good resounding slaps, and they were produced wonderful children, people like Tagore, Einstein, Subhash Bose. Okay. Subhash Bose was the 5th child, Tagore was the 7th. Okay. It happened, nature has a way. The language is learnt by human beings, they have the biological ability, but this ability is fulfilled only through exposure. Exposure may come from any source, it may come from parents, but these days parents do not have time. Mother working, father working, child care of television or care of Google or Wikipedia, computer, or in the play school or nursery school. So, family, friends, relatives, actually if you look at the British history of British India, then the children of British born in India were fluent in Indian languages. Why? Can you tell me why? When the parents knew nothing other than आओ and जाओ or come and go, they only need this. Koi hai, that is the only word they knew, but their children knew, they were fluent in Indian languages. Why? Can you tell me why? They are caretakers, they are wet nurses, what in Portuguese it called aya. In our languages we have the word aya, a wet nurse. They were mostly Indians, okay? And naturally these nurses not only gave milk to the British children, they also gave some Indian languages, some songs, Hare Kanna Kanna Wang Wang Kanna Kanna Wang Wang. Okay? So, naturally the child learnt Tamil, naturally the child learnt Hindi, Telugu. Okay? So, no matter where it comes from, family, friends, relatives, then the second question arises, do all children speak like their parents? Do all girls speak like their mothers? Many husbands think so, they are not right. Do all boys speak like their fathers or mothers? Yes and no. In a large sense, yes. They speak Telugu, they have the same kinds, their plural is still, girl. They have the same plural marker, the same honor marker, but in some respect, the child has a lot of new words, does not have a lot of old words. If you compare your Telugu, now your Telugu is very different from your grandfather's Telugu, your Tata's Telugu, in 2 respects. You have lot of computer related words, which your father's father or your father's father's father or your mother's mother's mother did not have. She had some words which you do not have. If you look at her kitchen, her way of transport, they travelled on elephants, bullock cart, boats, you travel on bike, you travel on motor cars, you travel in railway trains, now underground trains. They did not have those things. They had boats, they had elephants, and they had a special words for them. There was a special word for the seat that was put on the back of the elephant. What was it called? What was the driver of elephant called? Okay. What was the driver of bullock cart called? They had special words for these things. Today we have different words. What is the driver of a motor car called? A driver. A driver of taxi called? Okay. And a person who takes care of the car called?
Mechanic.
Caretaker, or in a garage?
Mechanic. Cleaner.
Mechanic. Where your parents kept their ox was called?
Shed.
Telugu word. Telugu word. Okay. And where car is kept? Garage. So, in many respects, actually I have taught here for about 25 years. I have seen hostel jargon also changing at IIT Madras. in the batch of 1980s, early 90s, there are hardly computer related word, hardly computer related jargon. Today you have a lot of computer related jargon. So, all of us learned from our elders, our friends, our enemies. Okay, they also teach us, and sometimes enemies teach us good things, how to survive. Okay? But it is not all of it. We never learned everything that our parents have or want us to learn. Is that good or bad? What do you say? Good or bad? We don't know. Good or bad is time bound word. The point here is, no father or mother is able to teach everything to their child, and yet children know a lot. Do you imagine your mother sat down with you and told you, today I am going to teach you how to make passive voice in Telugu? Did they? No, and yet you know passive voice. You can say cow has been stolen, milk has been burnt, money has been deposited, letter has been posted. They are all passive voice sentences. How did you learn them? That is the gift of nature. You know, you need some exposure, but please write. All of us know more than we experience. That is true also of language. All of us know more than we experience. Nobody has sat down and taught us everything, but this knowledge will come to us only if we are exposed, not without. It is in that sense we mean culturally transmitted. Then there is attitude. You know, you can say two people do not have the equal number of words. There is attitude, there is aptitude. Some people can sing, we pay them for that, but language is common. Language. So, there is the question of attitude, there is the question of aptitude. We have differences. Some people remember, some people write well, some people can read well, some people can read very fast. Do you know anyone who can read 300 pages in one day? Okay. I have a friend, if you like I can invite her to this class one day. She reads a 400-page book in one day, and ask her from anywhere. She is also an English teacher. She is a training manager in a computer company, a good friend of mine. Okay. So, God has given us some ability, but the basic ability that we can read and understand, we can understand and write, we can listen and understand, we can understand and speak, this is common to all of us. Differences happen. All children do not learn everything enthusiastically. You know, do you remember first day when you were sent to school? You cried, your mother had to bribe you with a chocolate. Eventually, you were managed, you started going to school. There is reinforcement, parents teach you every day, uncle ke hello chappu, why should we hello chappu, you know, leave the child alone. But you know, we force the child, say hello to the uncle, say good morning, namaskaram andi, okay, do all of these things. So, there is reinforcement every day. 30 times a day your mother will tell you, daddy, okay, why should I get daddy every day, why should daddy not call me and say something sweet or nice, okay, or resistance. You are also told how not to do, no. All children maybe, not all children, you guys are exceptions perhaps, but you know most children are also given prejudices by parents. Don't talk to that uncle, not good. Okay? So, all my father's brothers are bad according to my mother, all my mother's people are bad according to my father. Okay? Yet, look at the beauty of human mind, in spite of parents, in spite of friends, we learn a lot of things, but these conditions are, complete the sentence please, these conditions are essential. Unless you have language in use, unless you hear language in use, you do not learn it. You learn more, much more than you hear, much more than you read, but that more will not happen, even that limited thing will not happen unless you hear it. I will just give you some examples. I want to see who can read it aloud. This is a grandfather telling a tale. Can somebody please stand up and read it aloud? Come on, quick, we do not have much time. Yes, please.
There was a grandfather tells a tale. There was an old man who was going to sell his hat. He was taking thousands and thousands of hats with him. And he was going from village to town to sell his hats. On the way, he was very tired, like the lazy lion, and the cool breeze was going there. And then he fell asleep. He slept for a while. Up above the tree, there was a monkey, and the monkey saw the hat in the box.
Okay. This is how our parents teach us language. Please sit down. Thank you. This is how we learn language. We hear a variety of contexts, stories. Stories have conversations. Then suddenly there is a question. Where is my cap? Where is my hat? So, a child hears all kinds of language in its daily life, and the child reaches conclusions. Okay, this kind of sentence when you describe, this kind of sentence when you answer, this kind of sentence when you ask a question, this kind of sentence when you are happy, wow, this kind of sentence when you are sad, alas. Okay? Sometimes see conversation between mother and son. Can somebody please read it aloud? Two people, somebody playing mother, somebody playing son. I want to see if a boy can play mother, acting in a play. Come on, please, don't waste time. Studio time is, you see how much the salaries, the equipment, the power, the technology. Come on, please. Yes. Okay. Or, the two of you, you can play mother and child. Right? Can you please stand up, both of you, ladies?
Sleeping time. Let's turn the lights off.
Go on.
Sleeping time now. No. JJ, please.
No. Go on. See the insistent child. The mother is tired. She has cooked for the entire family. Now it is bedtime and the child says, no, tell me stories. So the mother says, sleeping time, please continue.
JJ, please. No.
Okay, please sit down, thank you. This is how, you see, from very complex stories to simple conversations, family gives you a variety. Okay, somebody else, two boys, please, come on now. Don't be lazy.
Mother, no?
Come on, please. Okay, the two of you, second bench, please stand up. Right.
I'm sorry. Sorry about what?
He already knows.
What is that? You don't know about what?
Now the mother is irritated. You see, this is I have taken this from real life. I'm doing a project. I'm working on multilingual children. So this is my interest. Third feature, please write. What is the third feature? First is languages. Second, languages. Third, languages.
Naturally transmitted.
Fourth, please write. Language varies. It has variations. It is not the same in, though we speak Telugu all over Andhra, but Telangana has one kind of Telugu. Lots of Urdu there, I was in Hyderabad for 10 years and I thought I could understand the Telugu is spoken there. They don't say Nalgu paise, Nalgu ana, Nalgu, they say Char ana, Char paise, Char rupiye, Char minar. They don't say Nalgu minar. Okay? They say Chaurasta, right? Lots of other words, Telangana, Telugu is very different from Telugu is spoken in Rajmundry or spoken in Anantapur or Kurnool, etc., etc. So for Tamil, Tamil is spoken in Coimbatore. I have friends from Coimbatore, I have friends from Madurai and Chennai. Coimbatore people think the best Tamil is spoken in Coimbatore, and Madurai people laugh at them. They say, Kaveri, sir, Tamil is like West Tamil. Actually, they say one street of Kumbakonam, but Trichy, Kumbakonam, Madurai, they say that is where. But both Coimbatore and Madurai people are agreed that Chennai Tamil is worst Tamil. They actually use a word for it. They call it Panni Tamil, pig Tamil. Panni is pig in Tamil. They call it Chennai Tamil is Panni Tamil, pig Tamil. I have two friends, they frequently have arguments. Similarly, Hindi. I come from Bihar. People in Delhi count Bihar as Hindi speaking state when they have to get numbers larger than Bengali and Telugu. But then tell Bihari Hindi, like that. Oh, we don't care, because there are differences. We do not say मैं जाता हूँ, मैं आता हूँ. We say हम जाते हैं, हम आते हैं. Actually, we look down upon those who say मैं. क्या बकरी की तरह मैं कर रहा है? You are doing मैं like goat. Okay. So language differs across regions. Language differs across, class, caste. Everything is fixed. The boy likes the girl, girl likes the boy, dowry is fixed. How many barat will go, what they eat, everything is fixed. And suddenly the boy's grandmother discovers that the girl's Telugu is not standard. She does not speak Andhra Telugu. She speaks Rayalaseema Telugu, corrupted. Entire thing is broken. What a pity, really. Okay? Or, she does not speak class Telugu. The absolutely Sanskrit laden, etc. Or topic. Same English, same Tamil, same Telugu, same Sanskrit becomes another language in another context because of the density of words. Or domain, you may be two people talking in this class, but you and I will never use Telugu or Hindi, only English. But you and I meet in canteen and we don't say how are you, we say Bagunara, okay, Sogima, Chepande, are you all right, okay. There will be mixtures. So language changes. Actually, we have a saying in Sanskrit which says that every 20 kilometers language changes, every 10 kilometers water changes. Okay? Look at some examples. Changing language in time. Can you tell me what the first paragraph means? Quietly, please look at it. Quietly. I am going to give you a pencil as gift. Of course, a good pencil. Gurnath does not sell that pencil. Okay? If you can read the first paragraph aloud, one person. I want to see if you have something called guts. Anybody, please. Just the first paragraph. Don't worry about meaning. Who can read it aloud?
I can't even say.
Do you understand what it means? Okay? It's old English. This is how English was spoken, not written. English was not a written language until very late. Uncivilized people, quote unquote civilization. Okay? This is how English was spoken until about 1,000 years ago. Okay? Can somebody read it aloud? Try, Anurag. Okay?
On engine gesture called Siofnan and Iodan. Sio er was solides del lentic piostre vairon offer dere nai vetnise
Good. Wonderful.
And God's cast was Jephorod offer water. God Guada, Chaudhary Leo and Biat Guada.
Yeah, by and large, I think you are right. This is Old English. Onangin Geshob Koth Hyofunanen Jordan. Sio Jorde was Sodlis, Idelanam Tig, and the Ostroveron offered there, Nai with Nisse, Brad Nisse, and goddess Geist was Gefferoth offer Wateru, God Quedan, Gewurde, Lyot, and where the Geworte. Old English. Translation is given there. Anurag, read the translation, please, aloud.
In the beginning the God created heavens and earth. The earth was truly void and empty, and the darkness were over the abyss surface, and God's Spirit was brought over the water. God said then, be light, and the light was made.
You see, this is how language can change. In 1,000 years, it is another language. Not only you and I, for both of us, English is a foreign language. Even for those who are in England, they do not understand Old English. It is so changed. Similarly with Telugu, you won't understand Telugu of 1,000 years ago, or Hindi of 1,000 years ago, or Sanskrit. Okay? Today, English is very different. In the beginning, God created heavens and earth. The earth was truly void and empty, and darkness were over the abyss's surface, and God's Spirit was brought over the water. God said then, be light, and light was made. Okay. See how much it has changed in pronunciation, in words, in the way words are derived. In time, language changes. Language also changes in place. Hindi in Patna is one way. If you go to Patna and you ask for samosa, you won't get samosa. You know what samosa is? In Patna we eat singhara. We do not say hum. In Jabalpur, where you speak Hindi, a young girl can be called bai. Bai jara ye de do, bai jara ye le do. But do not call a young girl bai in Patna or Vanaras. You will be killed. Okay? Bai there means a girl who offers service for money. Okay? It is a totally different word. Okay? In Rajasthan, in Madhya Pradesh, in Uttar Pradesh, any language, Telugu in Visakhapatnam is not the same thing as Telugu in Warangal, as Telugu in Anantapur, as Telugu in Kadapa or Chittoor. Okay? They differ in places. I have given you lots of examples, you know. You can come up with your own in it, and these differences manifested not just in words, they also appear in pronunciation. In the Hindi in Bihar, we do not have sh, we do not say Gaushala, we say Gausala. Gali nahi de rahe hain, sala, you know, we do not have sh, we have s. Similarly in English, it is CUT is cut in London, but in Manchester it is cut. The driver takes a shortcut, and what shines in the sky is sun, and what you travel in is bus. So a boy tells the girl, here is bus me love. The bus has arrived, my love. But he says, here is bus me love in Manchester, but in London it is bus my love. So language changes in areas, in pronunciation. Okay. According to class, caste also, in Tamil Nadu, Brahmins call water tirtham, others call it tanni, right. Brahmins pronounce cholinga, chocho, cholinga, kurchi, okay. They do not say solinga, okay. And you know, it's a great social marker, identity marker. In English also, which does not have many of these class related things, rich people do not take meat, they take mutton, okay. They do not wear dress, they have garments. They do not take meal, they take dinner. they don't take supper, they have repast. Okay, you know, these differences, class based differences are there. There are topic related differences. It is English, but can you tell me which subject the first paragraph comes from? Which subject? Second paragraph. Can you tell me which subject it comes from? Chemistry, biochemistry, no physics. And third paragraph? Linguistics, biology. Okay? So, you know, it's the same thing, but according to topic it differs. Or same people, same two people, but in lab they have one kind of language. In hostel, well, you don't even need to speak, another kind of language. In Sarang Shastra, yet another kind of language. Imagine two IIT BTechs meet on a railway train, okay? Or imagine 4 years later, one IIT BTech gets married and invites the other IIT BTech. What would he say? He will write formal letters to a lot of people, but to his friend he would say, wow, now finally somebody has agreed to marry me. Come. Okay? You know, so depending upon place, people, time, topic, okay, and various domains can be there, domain of home, domain of work, domain of transactions, religion, no matter how, in church, in temple, in mosque, we all use very sacred language. The point is, language varies. The fourth feature. What is the fourth feature? The language varies. Please look up the book, look up net, and you will learn more about it. Thank you. Have a good day.